Welcome to the Wi-Fi Money course. I'm going to teach you how to make an online business, how to scale it, and most importantly, how to get clients. So let's get things started. First of all, I'm going to talk about Wi-Fi Money, and then I'm going to talk about what an agency is, clients, finding clients, scraping emails, and tips. After that, we're going to go to a separate part of this course where we're only going to focus on lead generation, and I'll explain why later. So first of all, what is Wi-Fi money? Wi-Fi money is basically making money online, working anytime, and living anywhere. You won't be, you can vacation for the rest of your life. You can live anywhere you want. There's a lot of people that do this. They're called digital nomads. You don't have to be a digital nomad to be in Wi-Fi money, but if you bought this course, you're interested in Wi-Fi money. So this is the type of lifestyle you want to live. You want to be able to work off your laptop anywhere. You don't want to have you don't want to have a boss. You want to be your own boss, and you want to be able to dress anyway. You can dress however you want and make money. So first of all, what is an agency? An agency is basically a service business. Okay, so they do web design, Facebook advertising, copywriting, SEO, etc. Your business doesn't sell a product, but it just provides a service to other businesses, okay? And if you don't have any skills or time to do this, that's okay, because later on in the course, we're going to show you exactly how to manage that. So, preferably you do have a skill, but let's say you're 16. Guess what? You can actually run an agency and be pretty successful at it, and I'll show you exactly why and how later. So first of all, when you run an agency, when you make an agency, it's smart to niche down. If you notice, for example, doctors, general practitioners, general doctors make a lot of money, but neurosurgeons make even more money. Why is that? Because they're niched down, they're specialized. So just like a doctor, you also want your business to be specialized. For example, you do web design for restaurants, or you do video editing for influencers, or you make YouTube ads for course creators. I highly suggest that you niche down and be specific, because that'll A, help you figure out, what market you're going for, and B, you can also charge more. There's a psychological sales tactic you can use when you niche down. So you've probably heard of drop shipping before, where you buy stuff from China and you sell it to Americans or other people, and you make a profit by basically being a middleman. So what you can do with an agency, if you don't have any skills, is doing something called drop servicing. It's essentially like drop shipping. You're still a middleman, there's still management involved, but instead of selling a $50 trinket from China, you can sell a $2,000 service instead. So let's say your target demographic is web design, or in this case, it's actually selling a podcast cover art design. Linda pays you $250. You pay someone on Fiverr $20, and you're just the middleman, and you profit $230. Right? Another way of looking at it is the client pays you $500 for a service. You pay a freelancer $200 to do it. The freelancer gives you the product, and you check the quality and you send it to the client. So this way, you're essentially running your own business. You're not doing a lot of work, except you only really have to focus on lead generation, and you have other freelancers do it yourself. Now, you might think, is this unethical? No, because it actually happens all the time. In big corporate America, they do that all the time. And, CEOs don't do the actual work. They outsource it one way or another to either employees or contractors. Google is actually 50% contractors. Steve Jobs never actually made an iPhone, and Elon Musk has actually never built a Tesla car. It's all about outsourcing. So this is what you can do. So let's talk about finding clients next. Most people think that you would find clients on LinkedIn. Well, actually, no, we're going to find them on Instagram, because it's going to be much, much easier to do. You already are on Instagram, and Instagram is very, very untapped. So look, Instagram is where the money is, okay? It's 11, 12 years old. It has over a billion users every month. It's huge. It's much bigger than LinkedIn. but also the demographics are better, right? The people are generally younger, they're more willing to spend money, and they're also making a ton of money because one of the best ways to make money nowadays is just being on social media. A lot of people don't actually do business on Instagram. They either don't know how to do it correctly or they're just selling forex. But the problem is, like, there's a huge amount of business owners that are making upwards of 20 to 50 grand a month on Instagram, and they're more than willing to spend money and invest back into their business, because if they hire someone else to help them with their business, they're going to spend $2,000 or $3,000 to invest back into their business, because guess what? It's a tax deduction. So they're not even really paying for it at the end of the year. It's deducted from their taxes. So they're more than happy to spend and invest back money into Instagram. Whereas on LinkedIn, not everyone's making that much money. I'm sure there's money to be made, but people are being contacted on LinkedIn 10 times a day. Whereas on Instagram, you don't really get a lot of business messages on Instagram. So we're going to talk about pitching clients now. How do you pitch clients? First of all, you need to buy a domain on Google Domains. If you don't know how to do this, look it up on YouTube. Connect a G Suite account, so you never use a gmail.com email. It looks unprofessional. And you DM them. You can also either email them or DM them. You could also do both. From what I have seen, video DMs have a huge response rate, and they only take about 2 minutes to do. We'll show you. We have about a 3-hour long video module later in this course on all about lead generation. I believe we have also about an hour's worth of just DMing people on Instagram. So we'll show you all of this, but there's 2 ways to do it, and you can do both. You can email someone and DM them, just do the omni-channel outreach. So here's an example email that you can send. It's very simple. Don't overcomplicate it, but also don't make the email too long. Make it super simple. If you send a huge essay, no one has time to read that. You're contacting business owners. Business owners, they don't have a lot of time. So, hey, first name, customized compliment. The reason why you do the customized compliment is that's the first thing they're going to read after they see, hey, first name. And it needs to be personalized, so that way they know that you're not spamming people, and also it feels real. That way you build a human connection, so then they're interested in reading more, right? So then you can say, are you interested in getting more clients? If you're not doing lead generation, you can skip this part and just say, I run a web design agency. We help businesses like yours create websites. Simple. Would you be open to a quick chat? Best regards, name. Very, very simple. Don't send super long emails. The best emails are 4 to 5 lines max. You'd be surprised at how effective these emails can be. No one wants to read a 6-paragraph essay about your service. So here are some tips. What I've used before is use a hot female avatar on G Suite. I just make a fake name, fake picture, and DM them, and then when they respond, they say, great, I'll link you up with my boss, and then it just links it back up to me. I've seen that I get a much higher response rate. You don't always have to do this, but it does work. It may work well in certain industries. It might work poorly in certain industries. The last thing is maybe a termination fee. This is only if you're doing lead generation for them. And if this would only be working if this is a monthly recurring business. Most of the time it's going to be a one and done client. So you can ignore this unless you are doing lead generation. Obviously you want to do a cold DM and video DM. Maybe someone forgets seeing an email, but if they see an email and a video DM and it looks familiar, they're going to respond to you. I highly recommend capitalizing on a professional video DM. You don't have to be in a suit, but make it look good, and I think it'll work out. Lastly, you could work for cheap first just to get a testimonial, just to get your foot in the industry, and then have them give you a testimonial so that you can go to their competitors and say, hey, I helped this person out. He made X more money, or I made this product, this service that you don't have. So for example, hey, let's say you're emailing a restaurant and you want to make a website for them, and you're going to charge them $3,000 to build a website. You can say, hey, I built the restaurant across the street from yours, a website. Check it out, looks really cool. Do you want one too? So testimonials are great for social proof. Lastly, fake it till you make it. You just have to have confidence. You really just need to have confidence. The first client is the hardest to get. First, talking about with my other students and other people, it took them about 2 weeks to 4 weeks to get a first client, but afterwards they just start rolling in. Eventually, you'll get a new client every week, and that could be anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 every single week if you're running a drop servicing agency. Lastly, I want to talk about why most businesses fail. Let's talk about why most businesses fail and why we are dedicating 80% of this course to lead generation. They fail because they're not getting enough clients. The truth is that lead generation is the most valuable skill in running an industry, and 80% of your work in running any business is going to be marketing and sales and or lead generation. At the end of the day, a business is not a business if it doesn't have customers or clients. So that's why we've spent about 80% of this course talking about lead generation, because frankly, that's the most important part of running a business. We've already laid out how to set up an agency with a simple website and email. We've already told you where to get customers to contact. We've already told you how to contact them. The next modules will be about scraping emails and getting the exact people in your niche. But also, lastly, it's going to be about lead generation, because at the end of the day, I can tell you exactly how to do drop servicing. I can tell you about business stuff, but at the end of the day, you are going to fail if you can't get clients. So that's why we've dedicated the rest of this course to lead generation, because at the end of the day, that's going to be what's the difference between you failing in a month or you making 10 grand a month in a few months.